municipality of President Roxas. Zamboanga del Norte special show. And a brief presentation by engineer attorneys and from the maintenance section of engineer. Before we proceed, please acknowledge as I call your name, starting with our backer first of all. Engineer said will be to provide and present our vice backer so engineer member. Balik ng Pierre, Engineer Teresita Liet, wala Engineer Teresita Alvaro, Almar Asintedo, maraming end user, Engineer Orlan David, and from the technical working group, we are Engineer Rosalito Miliaria, Engineer Oli J. Contana, Engineer Marites Mama, Engineer Denise Kirby, present. Firstly, presenter from maintenance section, we have Engineer Jonathan Pero. From the back secretariat, headed by our procurement and Engineer Mariana members, we have here Engineer Castillo Sumina, Ms. Liami Calvari, and we're curious so cheers is the what members those schools na lang po si this repeat the collects tour. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, office and quorum. This prevent preparation for what's further. May I call to our presenter, Pinal Coteros, and discuss this topic.
Good morning to all. Repair maintenance of the DILG Building, Bureau of Fire Protection, main building, Barangay Langatian, Municipality of Residential Manuel of Roxas, Zamboanga, Norte. Floor area is 153.61 square meter. Itong DPWH. Sige na. Kasi nagkakabutang ang damo. Appropriation is 1,298,000 pesos. Then calendar days is 60 calendar days. Then per item yan. Okay. Item number B3, 1 permit and clearance. Quantity 1, B5 project billboard or signboard. 2 quantity. B7 1 occupational safety and health. 1 quantity. And then removal of structure and obstruction 1 quantity. Plumbing works 1 quantity. Ceiling 4.5 mm metal frame fiber cement board 99.71 square meter. Wall 4.5 mm marine plywood metal frame 47.87 square meter. Finishing hardware 1 frame drums, shells, head transom and volume 5 set. Doors and wood panel 8.4 square meter. Waterproofing liquid 39.6 square meter. Glaze tiles and frame 250.92 square meter. Unglazed tiles 4.21 square meter. Cement plaster finish 16.17 square meter. Painting works masonry or concrete 429.41 square meter. Painting works wood 95.74 square meter. PVC doors and frame 4.41 square meter. CHB non-load bearing including reinforcement steel 8.09 square meter. And then in the plans ubos kanina ubos na kami We have ground floor plan. In this ground floor plan, there is the wall, red dot is the wall marine plywood metal frame, and the gray color is the CHB wall frame, CHB wall ground floor and second floor area. And then there is the front elevation, rear elevation, and right rear. Hindi, tapos ground floor plan for painting works for yellow light. Wait, zoom out lang. Zoom out? Zoom out pa? The yellow color is the painting works of masonry or concrete. The red is the painting works of wood. The door scheduling, door 1 and door 2. The ceiling frameworks of the ground floor ceiling plan. Ground floor only. Then glaze and unglazed tiles for the ground floor and second floor. And then the electrical lighting layout and second floor and ground floor area. Okay. Okay, so this all. Thank you.
Yeah. Go to Nornis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Members of the BAC, fellow government workers present in this room, online viewers. So for this private conference, we have the discussion done by the maintenance section, the 25 JC 0107. The location of this project is at Barangay Langatian, Municipality of Roxas. The ABC is 1,298,000. Duration is 60 calendar days. For the discussion of the eligibility requirements for this project, the bidder, we encourage the bidder to update their PhilGIP certificate in the CWA. And then for the all contractors wanting to enroll in the civil works application shall submit not later than the deadline for the submission of bids or simultaneously with the submission of its bid for the contract or the duly accomplished CCASI together with all the requirements documents enumerated in the list of annexes as shown in the screen. For the classification of this project, this is the general building, GB1 building. The size range for this project is the small b. For the technical component envelope, the legal document, valid and updated PhilGIP's registration certification in accordance with the section 8.5.2 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. By submitting a valid and updated PhilGIP's registration membership, the Class A documents mentioned under section of the revised IRR shall not be submitted. These documents are the following. The highlighted documents shown in the screen will not be submitted if the PhilGIP certificate is updated already in the CWA. So for joint ventures, each partners of the joint venture shall submit their respective PhilGIP's certificate of registration. So statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet awarded. No, the side picture shown in the screen will be the format for the following form. Also, for the statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, no, shown on the screen also were the format for the said form. The bidder will be eligible if it had done a single largest completed contract containing a category of work which is the same of the similar to the major category of work, and those value adjusted to current prices using the PSA consumer price indices must be at least 50% of the ABC of the bid. That contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience on the contract to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of the contract cost of their registration based on the guidelines as prescribed by the PCAB. No? These are the category of work of the 25 JC 0107, BPIR, work description, building repair, similar category of work code, no, shown on the screen, and also the similar category of work description is also shown on the screen. For the special pickup license in case of joint venture and registration of the type of the cost of the contract to be bid. For the bid security, no, we have on the screen also showing the forms of bid security. Their prescribed forms are also shown, the validity. Its validity corresponding is 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bid. Also, the amount of the bid security are also shown as well as the remarks for the following bid securities. No? Shown also on the screen are the samples of the forms, the DPWH Infra 10, Infra 11, and Infra 12 for the bid securities. If the funding source of the procurement has not yet be approved, made effective, the BAC through its secretariat will request the bidders to extend the validity of their bid security beyond 120 calendar days prior to its expiration. A change in the form of the bid security is allowed if this is made prior to the expiration of the validity sought to be extended. If the bidder refuses to extend the validity of the BAC, the BAC will reject the bid submitted by said bidder without forfeiting their bid security. For the project requirements, also showing in the screen is the organizational chart using the prescribed form DPWH Infra 13. Also, for the list of contractors' key personnel, we are using the prescribed form DPWH Infra 14 as shown on the screen. No, and the following content for the forms is showing also on the screen. So for the list of key personnel for the 25 JC0107, we have project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and geometric control. Materials engineer. Minimum years for the similar experiences, minimum years for the total experiences are also shown. And then it must be followed the department ordered DO 148 series of 2024 for the project engineer and the DO 98 series of 2026 for the materials engineer. Also, the key personnel are safety officer, first aider, and the foreman. No, the DOLE accredited safety officer, the DOLE accredited first aider is required. Safety officer must have undergone mandatory 4-hour basic construction occupational safety and health training and additional 48-hour advanced specialized construction occupational safety training from DOLE or any DOLE accredited training organization as required by the DOLE DO number 198 series of 2028. For the first aider, must have undergone certification training course from accredited organization as required by DOLE DO number 235 series of 2022. Pursuant to the item 6 of the DO number 9 series of 2012, if proposed key personnel is an employee of the bidder or working on another project, at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit certification that the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and he or she will be replaced with another person with equal better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. For the list of contractors' major construction and materials testing equipment units, we are using the prescribed form DPWH Infra 15, no? Following showing on the screen also where the forms and the content also are showing for the owned equipment, for the lease equipment, for under purchase equipment. For the minimum materials testing, please refer to the DO number 11, series of 2017. The bidder should specify the submitted bid location of the equipment where it can be inspected. If any piece of equipment is not in the specified location during the post-qualification, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. For the omnibus sworn statement for the technical document, we are using the form DPWH Infra 16. The latest OSS is composed of 10 statements. Additional documents for corporation, partnerships, or corporation submitted additional documents. Original notarized secretary certificate. For joint venture, original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power of the authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts represented by the bidder. For the NFCC, the computation for the NFCC is shown on the screen. Current assets minus current liabilities times 15. The values of the bidder's current assets and current liabilities shall be based on the latest audited financial statements submitted to the BIR, which also reflected in the PhilGIP's registration certificate. During the bid opening, the contractor's NFCC be determined using the DPWH contractor's profiles eligibility process and subject further proposed qualification. That would be all for the technical documents. For the financial, it will be discussed by Ms. Rochelle Garzola. So the So good morning, everyone. So I'm going to discuss about the financial component envelope. So first, we use the prescribed form DPWH and Infra 9, and we shall sign every page of each page in the bid form, including the bill of quantities, shall be ground of and also if no signature shall be ground for rejection of bid. So for discount offered, it shall be signed and handwritten by the bidder. Also, taxes reflected in the detailed estimate should be reflected also in the bid form. So for the performance security, these are the percentage required as shown in the screen. Next, for the next component, the bill of quantities. The bill of quantities has two portions. First, the BOQ of each part of the contract using the prescribed form, DPWH Infra 17 as shown in the screen. And the bid price summary for all parts of contract using the prescribed form, DPWH Infra 18. So, in the DPWH Infra 17, we shall indicate the subtotal for each page in the bill of quantities. Also, failure to sign each page
of the bill of quantities and bid price summary shall be ground for the rejection of your bid. So for the detailed estimate, you shall include the summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. All bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes such as but not limited to the VAT, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimate. So for the next component, the cash flow, we shall use the DPWH Infra 19 form, and it shall be based on the duration of the procurement of the project. So that is all for my presentation.
Thank you.
For the format and sealing and marking of bids, no, the original copy of the bid as indicated in the bidding documents shall be typed or written and shall be signed by the bidder or persons duly authorized to bind the bidder to the contract. Bid shall be printed in the A4 size paper. Each type of document shall be tab number. Prescribed forms must be completed. Alterations format. Any interlineations, erasures, alterations, or overwriting shall be valid only if they are signed or initialed by the person signing the bid. The bidder shall submit their bids through their duly authorized representative using the forms specified in the bidding documents. 2 separate sealed bid envelopes or 2 password-protected bidding documents in compressed archive folders. Bid shall be received by the back on date, time, and place specified in the invitation to bid paragraph. Bid submitted after the deadline shall not be accepted by the back. Unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes, or in case of the electronic bid submission, bidding documents shall not be compressed, archive folders, and are not password protected shall be rejected. However, bid envelopes that are not properly sealed and marked or not properly compressed and password protected as required by the bidding documents shall be accepted provided that the bidder or the duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid submitted. The back shall assume no responsibility for the misplacement of the content of the improperly sealed or marked bid or improperly compressed password protected folder for its premature opening. The bidder shall submit one original of the technical component and the original and one original for the financial component as described in the ITB Clause 16. Original technical component and the original financial component in another sealed envelope marked original financial component. Both envelopes shall then be sealed in the outer envelope marked original bid. Each outer envelope shall be indicate the contract ID and the name of the contract to be bid, indicate the name and address of the bidder, indicate also the name and the address of the procuring entity, indicate the warning do not open before the date of opening. Aside from the original copy, the bidder shall submit additional 4 copies for the technical and financial components of its bid. Enclose each copy of the eligibility and technical documents, 1 sealed envelope marked copy number, technical components and original components in another sealed envelope marked copy number also. Each outer envelope also is shall indicate the following shown on the screen: the name, contract ID name, the address, For the standard bidding procedure of the procurement of infrastructure projects will be discussed by Engineer Bacara.
Good morning, everyone. For the preliminary examination of bids, uh, opening of the first bid envelope, clerk shall check the presence of or absence of submitted documents of each bidder against a checklist of required documents to ascertain if they are all present using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion. For the second bid envelope, only second envelopes of bidders whose first envelope was rated passed will be opened. Bids with missing incomplete or patently insufficient and or total bid price exceeding the ABC shall be rated failed. And for the ranking, only bids whose both envelopes were rated passed shall be considered for evaluation and comparison. Partial bids is not allowed. Thus, bids is not providing all of the required items in the bill of quantity shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. Where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, it shall be considered as non-responsive. Specifying a zero or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government. The BAC will be checking for computational errors to enable proper comparisons of all eligible bids. The ABC shall be the upper limit of ceiling for acceptable bid prices. If a bid price as evaluated and calculated is higher than the ABC, the bidder submitting the same shall be automatically disqualified. There shall be no lower limit or floor on the amount of the award. Bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as but not limited to value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimate. After the detailed evaluation, bid shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices to identify the lowest calculated bid. The bidder with the lowest calculated bid shall then undergo post-qualification. For post-qualification, the purpose is to determine whether the bidder with the LCB complies with and is responsive to all requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. For the procedure, the post-qualification shall verify, validate, and ascertain the veracity, authenticity, and validity of all the Class A eligibility documents supporting the PhilJEP's certificate of registration and membership, and all the other statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using the non-discretionary criteria. So within 5 calendar days from receipt of the notice of the BAC, the following must be submitted by the bidder undergoing post-qualification. So the following criteria shall be considered during post-qualification. So the legal requirements, the technical requirements, the financial requirement. For post-qualification, immediately the above has notified the first bidder of its disqualification and notwithstanding any pending request for the consideration thereof, the BAC shall initiate and complete the same post-qualification process on the bidder with the second lowest calculated bid. If the second bidder passes the post-qualification and provided the request for consideration of the first bidder has been denied, the second bidder shall be post-qualified as the bidder with the LCRB. If the second bidder, however, fails the post-qualification, the procedure for post-qualification shall be repeated for the bidder with the next lowest calculated bid, and so on until the LCRB is determined for award. For award of contract, after the BAC determines the bidder with the LCRB or the SCRB, they shall recommend to the HOPE the award of contract to the bidder with the LCRB or SCRB. In case of approval, the HOPE shall immediately issue the notice of award to the bidder. Within 10 calendar days from the receipt of the winning bidder of the notice of award, the following condition should be complied before contract may be awarded. So these are the requirements for submission of the following documents. If the bidder fails to meet these conditions, they will be subject for disqualification and their bid security will be forfeited. So within 7 calendar days from the date of approval of contract, the procuring entity shall issue the notice to proceed together with a copy of approved contract to the successful bidder. The date of the receipt of the successful bidder of the notice to proceed shall be the date of effectivity of the contract and start date of the project. That's all for my discussion. Can answer.
Thank you. Any question, comment from the contractor? And what our schedule with the schedule this meeting to proceed? Sir Chair, the deadline of submission and receipt of bids and the bid opening shall be on May 14, 2025, at something that AM. Here, procurement units office, DPWH, second district engineering office, and the development. Review, first secretary, motion for adjournment.
Mr. Chair, since all the agenda are already presented and discussed, I move to close today's briefing documents.
Actually, seconded is the question. Thank you, everybody.
Rosemary, silbi ka. Saan?